What is an income or adjustment bond on my Series 7 exam? Well, one thing that income bonds do not do is pay income. Income or adjustment bonds are used in bankruptcies or restructurings, and retail investors should not be involved in a bankruptcy or restructuring. They trade flat. They only pay interest when and if earned. Let's say that Stacy is the CEO of the corporation, the issuer, and they've issued lots of bonds. What were they thinking? Billions and billions of dollars worth of bonds, and they're in default. And let's say that I am a hedge fund guy, and I have bought up these securities, these debt, for pennies on the dollar. And I come to Stacy, the CEO, and I say, "Hey, Stacy, I have some ideas about how we can restructure your debt, how we can get out of the situation you're in. It doesn't matter to me, Stacy, whether you want to do this on a friendly basis or a not so friendly basis. What I recommend is you exchange the bonds I'm holding. I'm your single largest creditor for income or adjustment bonds. You don't have to pay me any interest until we get the business back on its feet and then start earning some money. And then we'll adjust them upwards obnoxiously." I have Tom who works for me. He has an MBA. He's has a lot of expertise in distressed situations like yours. I'd like you to make him a senior vice president. You can put him on the board of directors. You don't have to compensate him. The issuer corporation, Stacy, doesn't need to compensate him. We take care of him, and he can be very valuable to you. Now, if we get the business fixed, your stock price is probably going to go up, and I'd like some warrants as a sweetener. And that means down the road, I might be able to provide you with some additional equity financing as well and become your single largest owner. Right now, I'm just your single largest creditor. Now, if you don't want to do it on a friendly basis, that's fine. I'm going to force you into bankruptcy. And I'm going to say, "Judge, I offered the issuer, the corporation, a restructuring plan. I offered to swap them out on the debt that they currently are in default on. I told them they didn't have to pay me any interest until they started earning some. I offered them Tom services at no charge to the issuer. Judge, it's not just a short-term thing. I also provided them the potential for additional equity investments through the exercise of warrants down the road. So I'm a long-term kind of guy, Judge. If I take control, Stacy, of the corporation, the issuer, through the bankruptcy process, you're out. And Tom will not be the senior vice president. He'll be the new CEO. What would you like to do? Would you like to fight, or would you like to go along for the ride? Doesn't matter to me. I got to be somebody who inspires fear and loathing, right? So, and have the resources to do this. These are called vulture investors. Think here like Carl Icahn. And why would you, as a retail investor, want to step in the middle of a gunfight between a vulture investor? Vultures are God's creatures too, flying around, looking for people that are having some problems that we might be able to help. But why would you want to do that? That's the test question, right? They trade flat, no calculation of accrued interest. You should also know bonds in default trade flat and zero coupon bonds trade flat. So that's a separate test issue. But I hope you found that helpful. Income or adjustment bonds, the test question is, they're used in bankruptcies and restructuring. They only pay interest when and if earned, and they're not a retail product. A retail investor should not buying an income bond because they're seeking income. That's the one thing this bond does not do. This is a distressed bankruptcy restructuring kind of security. Remember, inch by inch, income or adjustment bonds are cinch. Yard by yard, income or adjustment bonds are hard.